everyone, welcome back to Tea With Me. I'm Michelle K.
I'm Michelle C.
And today we're looking at body positivity.
Yes, interesting subject. You've actually got an article there, which is...
I do have an article up, yep.
Quite interesting.
This was, this person called Jack Bly shared a thread on Twitter, 5 reasons body positivity is evil. In the start of his thread, he shared an image of a rather large lady in a Calvin Klein advert saying, "I speak my truth in my Calvins."
Okay.
Anything that says "my truth," you know, is going to be
it's
interesting,
yeah,
to say the least. But let's see what Jack Bly has to say about body positivity. So, misinformation is the starting off point. Cosmopolitan and many other are guilty of spreading lies. You can be healthy at all sizes. Wrong. Obesity puts you at greater risk for stroke, diabetes, heart disease. If someone trusts this misinformation, it could very well cost them their life.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
We should not just set fire to science. This is the running theme again, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, just it's okay to be incredibly obese and healthy, but the two aren't connected. You can't,
exactly.
know, because it's not healthy.
Everybody knows that obesity is not healthy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when we're in this feelings over facts era,
yes,
we have to pretend that being morbidly obese is fine.
Yeah.
And attractive.
And actually, you know, I do worry, again, the young people, you know, getting that message and then not caring. It should be a health thing.
It should be a health thing.
It should be a health thing.
Yeah.
You know, but everything's driven up, you know, like by aesthetics. It's the way you look. And if you just accept that you're happy with the way you look, then it's fine.
Well, this is why they hate
it's not if it's detrimental to your health.
They hate the whole normal beauty standards thing, don't they? But it's like there's a reason that beauty standards exist.
Yeah.
And it's biology. It's basic biology.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? Women are generally attracted to strong-looking men.
Yeah.
And men are generally attracted to young, fertile-looking women.
Yeah.
It's biology.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Yep. Science again.
There are men that find large ladies attractive.
Yeah.
But it is a minority.
Yeah.
And it is a fetish in some cases.
Yeah.
You know, they call them feeders, don't they?
Yes. But I think 9 times out of 10 that's driven by insecurities of their own, isn't it? But
I don't know.
The psychology.
I'm not a psychologist.
No, me neither. But it just seems to kind of make sense.
Yeah.
But
number 2, normalising low standards of life. Do you really think it should be normal to suffer from disease, low libido, low energy, depression, insecurities, early death, high medical costs? Kids growing up are believing this is the norm. Change is required.
Well, that's it, isn't it? But again, you know, if you look at the bigger picture and we look at the narrative, you know, if we're not healthy, we're not thriving. Mm-hmm. We're not critically thinking. We've got brain fog. We're lethargic, and we're not. It's like
we're docile.
Yeah. Incredibly, which is how they want us.
Distracted by our own ailments.
Yeah. So we're too busy just trying to get by and survive our ailments.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, looking at the world at large.
Yeah.
And what's really going on. But it's like...
What's really going on?
What's really going on? Well...
I wonder.
But no, Jordan Peterson made a very interesting comment in one of his talks. And he said that, you know, just accepting yourself is insane and nihilistic. And it is, because we should all strive to be better.
Yeah.
You know, and that should be our goal in life, to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're just all sort of accept, that's fine. You don't try.
Yeah.
So there's no development, there's no growth. And surely that's what we're here to do.
But I'm okay with the message of you should be happy with
yourself.
yourself.
I don't necessarily, you know,
and not just constantly be tearing yourself down. But you can be happy with who you are and still be striving to better yourself.
Yeah.
But I think that message has been lost. And it's like, no, you have to be perfectly happy with who you are at this very moment and celebrate the fact that you are obese or whatever. You know, I've seen countless videos, like clips from TikTok and stuff, of these very fat women being like, I'm beautiful. And it's like, do you really think that?
Well, that's it. And I mean, I doubt very much that they do.
Well, no, because I'm carrying a bit of extra weight on me at the moment that I don't want. So I'm like, if I'm unhappy with how I am at the moment, and I'm like, in no way, like, I'm not even the average size. I'm like below the average size for the UK. So I'm like, they can't really be
Well, that's
happy.
it. Is this something that's just driven by media and they're going along with it? In which case, it's not true acceptance, is it?
No, it's like protest too much.
Yeah.
You know, thing where it's like, oh, if I keep saying I'm happy, then it will be true. A self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
But I don't see it, and I don't understand how it can be, you know.
No.
You know, like, I want to better myself, and I don't really understand if they don't want to better themselves.
No.
You know.
No. That's not what we're.
Or they want to put more weight on. Some of them. And I'm like, whoa.
No. They've got to consider their health, though, you know.
I know, but they look at the health side as BS.
Okay.
Because they're being told, there was even that fat doctor, wasn't there? That was her actual handle, fat doctor.
Okay.
Who was saying that obesity does not lead to all these different diseases. And it's like, you're a doctor.
That's really, really insane.
Yeah.
Because she's in a position of authority.
Yeah.
You know, and most people would look up to and respect her because she's a doctor.
Yeah.
And she's giving, that's huge misinformation coming from the worst place.
Yeah.
That's
dangerous.
Toxic. That's very...
I mean, she basically has blood on her hands.
Well, yeah, really.
At that point.
But that's awful. Awful.
Let's continue with Jack's thread.
Yes.
Number 3, detrimental to society. The annual medical cost of obesity in the United States was $147 billion in 2008. On top of that, obesity equals lower focus, lower energy, lower productivity. Imagine the economic growth that would take place with a healthy population.
They don't want us healthy.
They don't want us healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like $147 billion in 2008. That's insane. And the states don't have a socialised medical system like we do.
No, and I mean, I can only really imagine that figure will have grown exponentially in the last, 14, 15 years.
Well, exactly, 2008.
So that's very old kind of data,
Yeah.
like a figure, and it's not got any better.
No, it's gotten worse. I remember seeing a map.
What it was last
year. A map of the states, and it was, I can't remember the time period, but it was like the amount, like it was color coded, so the amount of states that had like this level of obesity, and in this like 20-year period it had gone from like a tiny portion of like the deep red, like quite a lot of obese population, to now it's most states have a really large obese population.
But
and it's the same over here. I think we're a little bit behind them.
It's driven by that narrative that it's okay, and the health thing isn't an issue when it clearly is, and that figure supports that.
Yeah.
But what was I had a point. I was going to it's happened again. No, what I was going to say is, if you look at like the earlier podcast as well, when we talk about, and it's like a running theme. Both parents now going out to work.
Yeah.
Who's been at work all day
Fast
and
food.
wants to go home and cook a meal from scratch. Not many people, especially if they're already living on like with a poor diet and therefore have lower energy and stuff. And not only that, like you look at the processed carbs and it builds candida in the stomach, and the only way you can feed that is with sugar and salt, and your body naturally starts to crave it. It's not until you fully cut it out that you realise that that's what it is.
And you get the dopamine hit in the brain.
Yeah.
From eating that crap as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it all ties in.
It does, you know.
It does.
And I mean, you look back to Codex Alimentarius 2009 when they passed the law on ingredients on packaging, and now they don't have to list all of the individual ingredients on packaging, which I think is very, very wrong, because we should know exactly what we're eating. But you can get away with emulsifier. That's it. You don't have to say what you're using to emulsify, just the effect that it has. Flavouring.
Yeah.
What are they using? Sweetener. What are you using? You know, because there isn't a food, you know.
Sweetener, there are so many different kinds.
Exactly.
And some of them will spike insulin, and some of them don't.
No.
So I tend to go for the ones that don't if I'm going to have something like that. So like stevia or erythritol. Yeah. Something like that. Something that keep the low glycemic index.
Yeah. And
you know.
But I mean, even if you don't even look at only the insulin, you know, the negative impact on the brain, like the monosodium glutamate, which is in so many things now.
Yeah.
And it's an excitotoxin. So if you're having that a lot, it will cause damage to the brain over time, you know, and I think this is perhaps a contributory factor to why we see so many cases of dementia now.
And the grey matter in the brain gets attacked, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And also inflammation is a massive issue.
Yeah.
With the modern diet.
Yeah.
Because it is the modern diet, let's face it.
Well, it is. Well, it's sad, isn't it? Because they call it SAD in America, Standard American Diet. Yeah. And it is sad that there's so many people living that way. Yeah. But again, it's also driven by budget, you know. I try and do things in a very resourceful fashion, you know. So I'll go out and I'll buy a meat box. Like a beef box. And actually I find that works out cheaper if I do that at the start of the month than if I go to a supermarket and, you know.
Yeah.
So there are ways of doing it. You've just got to find them. You know, you can be resourceful and eat well on a low budget.
Yeah. But that's the other thing, is that it's the misinformation with nutrition as well that goes into it. Yes. People think the only way that you can lose weight is by eating a calorie restricted, low fat.
Yeah, well, I tried it, and
Everyone's
let me tell you, because I did a really intense thing last year, actually, and I did the calorie restriction and all the exercise and everything, because we're not taught, as a woman, you shouldn't be doing weights all the time throughout your cycle.
Yeah, you have to look at where you are in your cycle.
Yeah, but again, things that are just missing from education.
Well, this is a thing that we've recently discovered, and we're like in our late 30s, and we never knew this stuff. No. And I'm a personal trainer, and I never got taught anything about female hormones.
No. But I mean, I did that for like 10 weeks, and it messed up my digestive system. It messed up my reproductive system, and literally everything was off kilter, and I felt awful. I mean, I looked quite good, but I felt like crap. It was horrible. So misinformation, definitely.
Misinformation is a big one. Number 4, unethical precedent. Body positivity is founded on the belief that feelings over facts.
Yeah, well, this is what we say.
This has been a disgusting trend with the rise of PC culture.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, we did. PC gone mad, and this.
I'm of the opinion that we should tell people the hard truth rather than lie to their faces.
Well, they say sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind, don't
Very
they?
true.
And actually, you know, we kind of live in this very
snowflakey.
Well, I don't want to use terms like that, but you know what I mean. Like, let's not.
You can't hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah, it's all.
You have to lie to protect their feelings,
and it's just.
But it's not good for people.
I mean, I was when I got to my teenage years, I was obsessed with my weight, you know, and I was never big. I would just got to that, hormones kicked in, and that was it. I was obsessed, and you've got all the magazines, people in media, you know. So I do get that side of things, but at the same time,
that doesn't mean you give up.
No. So anyway, I went mad on exercise and I was cooking separate food for myself and stuff, and I kept saying to my mum, you know, I'm fat, and she used to say to me, well, you're not. If you were, I'd tell you. And at the time I was horrified. You'd say that to me? You'd call me that? But actually, I'm grateful, because I think if I would like somebody to, especially at that young age, you know, because health, you've got to put health first, I think, and you can't thrive, I don't think, unless you're healthy. You can't.
But I think, it's definitely the environment that you grow up in as well, as to whether you have a positive relationship with food and all that. You know, I grew up in a house where my mum was constantly on a diet.
Oh, okay.
You know, just constantly on a diet. And it was also like, because both parents were out working, we had the freezer dinners of the convenience food.
Yeah.
Convenience food.
Well, it's like we said, you know, when you've been at work all day, as most parents are now, because I mean, you know, women, when they stayed at home and raised their family and kept the house, they would
prepare
bake
the meals
and cook and
Whole foods.
Yeah.
That's it. But with this modern convenience food, our health has suffered as a result. Number 5, costly. He's tagged somebody and said that they've seen family members dying off left and right. Lives are being lost due to the very problem that body positivity is promoting. It's virtue signalling with no ethics in sight.
There's a lot of virtue signalling.
I mean, the rise of diabetes is insane.
It's incredible.
It's insane. And there's also so much, again, misinformation when it comes to diabetes. There's a lady that we work with who is borderline at the moment. I just found out the other day. And one of the other people at work was like, oh, well, you can still eat carbs if you're diabetic. And it was like, no, honey.
No.
Even the charity Diabetes UK have finally started saying you need to eat a low carb diet if you're diabetic, because the body treats carbs the same as sugar. It all gets broken up the same way. So, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen this lady yet to talk to her about it.
Certainly complex carbs and processed carbs.
Yeah, I mean, you can eat some vegetables and stuff, but then you have to look at the toxic content of the vegetables. You know, it's a whole minefield, isn't it, when it comes to nutrition?
It is, you know. But there's a pill for every ill, which again, you know, I think this is the culture that we live in now, and it's all about the quick fix. And, you know, when people 9 times out of 10, these are lifestyle ailments and diseases. And rather than change our lifestyles to heal our bodies, we take a pill. But then 9 times out of 10, that pill has got a side effect
that you then
that
need
will then cause something else, and then you need another pill. But it's all about this quick fix culture. It's just quick fix. Just go to the doctor and I'll get a quick fix and it's all fine, you know? But it doesn't fix anything.
But there are still doctors
they
out
treat
there.
Disease. They don't, you know?
There's still doctors out there that are telling people that type 2 diabetes is incurable.
To me, incurable, I heard this once. Actually, it was on The Secret and I loved it and I've used it so much since. If they say incurable, it means curable from within.
Yes,
to me,
because it's a lifestyle disease.
It means they can't cure it. They haven't got a cure.
They can't cure it with medicine.
Yeah, that's what it means. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means...
Because we know that type 2 diabetes is very curable.
Very curable, very reversible, but I think many things are.
Yeah.
You know, because they are 9 times out of 10 result of... I mean, you look after your terrain. This is the terrain, look after it. If you don't, it's going to start throwing things at you, problems, you know?
Yeah.
If you take a pill, you're not fixing the problem, you're numbing the symptoms, you're shushing them for a bit, you know? And that's... But it does line some pockets, doesn't it? So.
Of course. Big Pharma again.
Yep.
Yeah. The origins of body positivity was an actual positive thing, because it initially came about for people with actual physical ailments that they couldn't help. So it wasn't about being fat, it was about having missing limbs, having scars, things like that, things that people couldn't help, you know.
Yeah.
And it was about, yes, loving yourself the way you are.
Yeah.
But then it got hijacked by the fat acceptance movement.
Yeah.
So now whenever I hear body positivity, I think of like fat woman in her underwear flaunting herself and saying that she's beautiful, because that's,
And
you just got to look at the hashtags on social media. It's all just
but we
obese
are
women.
we are all a hell of a lot more than what we look like, and we spend so much time being hung up on body image, you know. And again,
That's because we're bombarded with it.
We are bombarded with it through the media, and I think, you know, that's why this has been such a huge thing, because the media probably caused so much, like myself when I was a teenager, you know, and that was so, you know, in retrospect, that was very misplaced. But you do get very slim young girls absolutely obsessed.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where they do get a body dysmorphia, you know. And
or develop an eating disorder.
yeah, that's it. Like anorexia or bulimia, you know, and they are real issues. But
there are influences out
we've always got this extreme, we've got that extreme, and what we should all be focusing on really is health. And I don't think anyone can be truly happy if they're really unhealthy.
Well, no.
Because you're not thriving, and, you know...
No, but that's the problem.
Nutrient deficiencies do lead, like, look at magnesium. You know, it's like a happy mineral, isn't it? You know, and...
Well, you never get good sleep without it.
No.
For one thing. And if you don't get good sleep...
That's another health
everything
thing.
else
And
is
especially,
screwed.
like, if you're eating late at night, I wonder how many cases of insomnia or, you know... If you eat late at night, you spike your blood sugar levels, and then you can't relax.
Well, yeah, because your digestive system needs to be relaxing overnight.
Yeah.
You know. But there are these body positive influencers who are doing it the right way.
Yeah.
So it's things like cellulite. Like, most women get cellulite because it's just the way our bodies store the fat. And even very slim women, like you see... Even models and actresses and that who are very slim, you will still see that they have cellulite on them. Obviously, it all gets airbrushed out in their campaigns and whatnot. And it's one of them where having a lower body fat percentage will obviously improve the look and all that. But it is just, I think it's something crazy, like 90% of women have cellulite. And even some men have cellulite. It's just, they're less likely because of the actual structure.
Yeah.
Of the placement of fat. But like, that's a positive
hormones.
to show young girls that it's completely normal to have stretch marks and cellulite. You know?
Yeah.
I got hardly any stretch marks when I was pregnant. Did you?
No, not really. No.
But I see some
Quite
women
lucky.
that it literally looks like claw marks down their
Yeah,
belly.
bless them.
And I do feel really bad for them. They obviously they sort of decrease.
I don't know what the factor would be on, you know, why.
It's just
why
elasticity
people...
of your skin, I think.
Yeah. We must be elastic.
We're very elastic.
We're elastic people.
Yeah.
No, I did use the bio oil as well. I don't know if that...
I did. I don't know if that was a factor.
But I think if I was to
I
do
got
it
like
again...
3 tiny ones.
Yeah, I've got, if I look closely. But no, I think if I was to do it again, I'd tallow. Because it's so rich in collagen, I think it would just help. Because that's obviously...
I love a bit of tallow.
Yeah. I think maybe that's it, because obviously we eat quite collagen-rich diets, don't we?
I didn't then, though.
No.
I was on a very standard Western diet back then.
Right, okay.
Because I didn't know about all this stuff. I didn't know about keto. I didn't know about carnivore.
No.
None of it back then.
No, I didn't really know about carnivore. And, you know.
Yeah.
But we need to podcast carnivore.
We will podcast carnivore.
Yes, and talk about it. As we mention it a lot, and I think,
Yeah, we'll do an episode on our experiences with the carnivore diet and keto and all that, and it's very interesting stuff. But yeah, body positivity started off in a good space and then got hijacked.
Yeah, I think that's the theme. But it's gone to such an extreme where, you know, it's really becoming detrimental to us as a society, like in terms of our health. You know, it really, really is.
And now you have these fat influencers, because that's what they call themselves, fat influencers, who are saying that airplanes need bigger seats, restaurants need bigger reinforced seats, and it's like, no, the world doesn't have to change to accommodate you, because you take someone like yourself who's petite, because what are you, 5?
That's it.
5 foot.
5 foot.
She's only 5 foot, right?
Little.
So the world hasn't accommodated you
for
being little.
No,
so
the top shelves in supermarkets need to all come down because I can't reach. But no, I just look for the nearest taller person, which is anybody else.
Because can you imagine being like your size and having to sit in a seat that's been built to accommodate someone who's 300 pounds?
Well, no, because then
you'd be lost.
I know. I'd strap in.
You'd be like,
well, actually, years ago, I went on at Disney World in Florida. I went on a roller coaster. Luckily, it didn't go upside down because I would have fallen out.
Oh,
but you sat in a row of seats and you just had this bar, and I thought I was going to fall out because the woman that sat next to me was very large.
Oh, so it wouldn't go down.
And so there was this much gap between me and the bar, and I had to grip. I was petrified.
I'm surprised they let you go then.
I was petrified because I really thought, because it was quite a steep drop, I thought I was going to fall out. I really did. Thing, and safety, you know, it just
they moan about not being able to go in roller coasters and stuff, but you have to think about the weight limits of things.
And that could have killed me if
would have killed you if you'd have fallen out.
If I'd have fallen out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But she'd have been okay.
Well, yeah, but it's, you know.
But there was a story not that long ago of, I think a bunch of influencers got invited to a ranch in the States to do horse riding. And this one girl who was very large was told she couldn't ride the horse because she weighed too much. They had a weight limit for the horse's health.
Yeah.
Obviously. You don't want the horse to break their back. And she complained about it online.
But that's ludicrous.
I know.
The poor horse.
And it was like, these people, it's on the website.
Yeah.
If you're over, I think it was over £250 and you can't ride the horses. And it's like, well, yeah, because that's an animal that you want to sit your big fat bum on and ride around for pictures for Instagram.
I mean, she could have potentially really damaged that horse.
Exactly.
And it's just...
What's more important, the horse's health or your feelings?
Yeah, or just an experience that she was going to have for, half an hour?
Yeah, for social media likes.
It's honestly, it's like everything though, it's just gone too far. That's the point, isn't it? It's gone too far.
Yeah.
And we're ignoring science again. And we're, you know, putting feelings over facts again. You know, so, you know, come on people, let's just stick to facts, not set fire to science. And
let's just go back to normal.
And actually, it's I don't think it's very kind to yourself.
No, it's not.
You know?
All that extra strain on your joints.
You want to be healthy, surely. You don't want to be lethargic, and you want to thrive.
You don't want to have to sleep with a mask thing on because you've got sleep apnea and all that stuff, and risking all these diseases and heart attacks and stuff. It's not good. And it's like, don't you want to live a long life?
Yeah.
For your children and your grandchildren and all that? Or even if you don't have kids, like just to spend time with your family and friends, you want a long, healthy life.
Yeah.
I'd have thought. And
but
is that extra bit of pizza really worth it?
No, I don't think so. I don't even like pizza.
Do you not?
No, not a fan. Not a fan of pizza.
Not all pizzas, obviously, but
no. I like chips.
Chips as in fries, she means.
Oh yes,
not
fries, of course. Yeah, not. Yeah. Well, though I do like crisps too.
Well, yeah.
But I'd sooner have a steak. To be honest, that tops everything.
Steak is better than cake.
Definitely. Steak is better than cake. But no, this is another thing, going back to like misinformation and stuff, and this, you know, look at margarine. When they first made margarine in a factory or whatever, it was to fatten up the turkeys. you know. And then they started giving it to the turkeys, and the turkeys started dying. So they thought, I know.
We'll give it to people.
Yeah, so we'll sell the idea that butter is bad so that they all go for margarine. Well,
Butter is delicious.
and it's not bad.
And healthy.
It's, you know, especially if you can get unpasteurised butter, you know, it's really good for you. But that was so that they could sell us margarine. And, you know, are we thriving as a result?
And
All the things they tell us is bad for us.
they're still selling the lower your cholesterol by using margarine line. Except they can't call it margarine anymore because now everyone knows how bad margarine is. They had to rebrand it, so now it's called plant butter. Plant butter. Otherwise known as industrial seed oil slop.
Yeah, which is definitely not healthy.
In any way.
But this is I think, you know, part of what's responsible, and this is why we have to have this conversation, you know, because even those that are trying, you know, to lose weight,
Are eating the wrong things.
if they
because that's what they're being told.
follow the guidelines, it's an exercise in futility.
Yeah, because it's get most of your food from carbs.
And this is, you
Bread
know,
and
the
pasta and
misinformation is responsible, but then rather than actually hold up, you know, stand up and say, yeah, that information's wrong, they go, no, it's fine, because actually you're
Just
still
eat less.
you're still healthy.
Yeah, and it's like if you're consuming these highly processed foods that have been scientifically manufactured to make you want more of, and then you're trying to cut down, like calorie restrict, so your body is going to be like, no, I want more food. Generally speaking, it's futile.
Yeah,
You're going to fail,
yeah,
and that's when they say diets don't work, and it's like trying the wrong diets.
yeah. The right diet will work, but it's very, very difficult. You know, to find something that does work when there's such a plethora of misinformation out there.
And it's also the lifestyle that we've been sort of forced into over the past like 50 years or so. So it's like have cereal for breakfast and then have a sandwich for lunch. So again, you're like carbs. Oh,
And
have
then have
fruit
pasta.
juice to drink at breakfast. So it's like you're going to have sugar with sugar for breakfast. And then you've got to have a snack because you're starving. Because you're not actually getting nutrients from these foods.
And this is the thing, and that's what I found when I did my diet, and I thought it was really good. You know, on the face of it, most people would look at it and go, yeah, that's really, really good. But when I allowed myself to come off of the diet, I honestly couldn't. I went mad on food.
Yeah,
because my body was not
starving.
Yeah, it was starving.
Yeah.
But you just literally you go for the nearest thing and eat it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just what we do because we're.
And this is where the disordered eating and like binge eating and all that comes about.
Yeah, it's just it's awful.
Right, I think we're about there.
Yes, I think so. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Do you agree? Is body positivity toxic?
Has it gone too far, like most things?
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, and we'll see you soon. I'll cheers with my near empty cup.
Mine is empty. Cheers.
Cheers.
See you soon.